What you doing, Smooch? What you doing, Smooch? Oh, she doesn't like that deep woods off I sprayed on her. But the mosquitoes are bad. Come on, Smoochie. Come on, Smoochie. Come on, let's go. Go for a walk. They're everywhere. They're like some kind of blue mist flowers. They're used in ornamental plantings, but can spread like invasively weed-like. In the words of one of my favorite YouTubers, get my six. Could be something lurking back there. But I don't think there is, other than mosquitoes. So today's topic, I haven't done one of these in a while, is integrity. I've been many places over the years where people just don't care. They just don't care. Like, for instance, I've overseen employees that just don't show up. Just sit around. They use the merchandise. Good grief. I worked at one place where there was this one kid. He would take the shoe cleaner. Get this. He would take the shoe cleaner, sit down on one of the benches for customers to try on shoes and clean his shoes on the clock. He shouldn't have been doing it off the clock. I mean, it was display merchandise. Hello. This is what is out there in the workforce. Thievery, of course, is always an issue. Like, you ain't going to get noticed. I count the stuff. Hello. And plus, your buddies will tell on you. Anyhow, I'm not dogging the younger folks. Not all of them are like that, because I did work with one little young lady. She was amazing. Her name was Alexis. If you're watching Alexis one day, hello. Just want to give you a shout out that you were the best worker I ever had in all my career. So, my point is that when you close a chapter or you finish a novel chronicle of your life, just like when you're writing something and you're supposed to be writing something good, you always have to great opening, then there's your middle, and then a great closing. You don't just and blah, 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 that's the end. No. You have a great closing. That's just this is why I'm so tired today. I'm home late, had no time to eat. The sweet little new girl, she gave me a candy bar because I was doing my best to take care of things in the amount of time that I had left before I go on to the new chronicle, novel, chapter, whatever of my life that I truly believe God has been pushing me towards. So I'm not just sitting on my behind. I'm doing my best to try to show things to other people because that's who I am. Because I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to stress somebody out and be like, okay, this girl's leaving. She's not going to help me out. She's not going to show me this. No, I'm not about that. That's just not who I am. And I did not raise my children that way either. None of them are like that. Now, they all are great work ethics. They had a great example in my dad. My dad is part Mexican and part German. You combine those two, you got someone who doesn't know how to stop working and someone who will find anything to engineer together to make it work. For example, I don't know if you can see it. I'll have to back up. I'll go back. When my dad builds something, he builds it. It ain't fancy. It ain't frivolous. He's not about showing off. He's about the practical point, the practical use, the utility of whatever it is. Back there is a barn. Now, he didn't build that barn. That barn was built before he was born, and my dad is 78 years old. That barn actually that barn is close to 100 years old. I'm not sure of the exact date. I'm pretty sure it's about 100 though. It has been through several hurricanes. Never any problem. Hurricane Laura, the hurricane from hell, came in August of 2020, turned one piece of tin on the roof. Now, am I going to go walking around in there? No, there's probably all kind of scared critters. I don't know how termite, one little shift that could probably set it off. I'm not stupid. Maybe I'll do an abandoned video and put on some boots and get a machete and go through there. And it's the same thing with the old house. The old house that was built before the barn. The old house took a mini hurricane, did not move. I think both these suckers are made out of cedar and probably notched in the old-timey way of putting things together. And I'll just kind of let you see through there a little bit. The only thing, and there's a tarp, a tree came down and put a hole in that roof. And some shingles went flying because they were those old kind of curved ceramic shingles. They went flying. Other than that, the house didn't move. That's how they build things. That's an example of, if you're going to do it right, do your best. I mean, if anything, value. I mean, my dad was kind of a hard person to live with because his verbal, he was very gruff, critical, not wanting to give praise. It's always felt like crap all my life. And it took a long time to come from that. But he's more mellow now. He actually told me good luck this morning because he knew the kind of days I was having when I was like, oh, thank you. But anyway, I'm out walking off my stress. I want to be jogging because that was my plan yesterday too. But because I want to do things right and do my best to help, my Sunday after church was somewhere else. And it was a beautiful drive though. I got me some, if the YouTube short is still on here, you'll see the drive home. Anyhow, so I'm out here walking because if I jog, I'm going to stimulate my brain. I don't do well with morning exercise. I get sick to my stomach. I throw up if I get too hot in general. But in the evening it's cool, and I don't get sick to my stomach when I'm out in the evening. But it does overstimulate my brain, just like late night visits or church or whatever overstimulates my brain. And that's a great thing. But if you have to get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock, it's not. So since I got home later, I'm not jogging, I'm just walking and talking and digressing and rambling. So anyhow, my kids inherited the same concept. You inherit some things, nature and nurture. You're not just a product of your environment. Your genes do come into play. Now, all my kids fend for themselves. I wasn't a mom that could afford to ta-ta them because most of the time I was doing things myself. I sometimes had some help, but for the most part, they knew I didn't have the money to buy my iPhones like their friends, such things of that nature. All their iPhones were bought by themselves when they had money for a job. I think that's the way it should be. Of course, I lie. The youngest kid does have an iPhone. He's the only one left. He was like an only because there was 7 years difference between him and my other youngest child. So he's a brat. But he doesn't realize that he has it so much better because he gripes and complains if he has to do anything. But because I'm gone most of the time at work, and he doesn't really have, someone to force him to do certain things or whatever, he gets Sometimes you just have to pick your battles. He's a good kid. Everybody that I know says he's a good kid. He's just at that age where gets on your nerves, you know. Freshman age boys. Freshman age girls ain't. It's just as bad. Actually, probably worse. But they all know how to get off their butt if they want something. I don't always agree with the methods. I don't always agree what they do for money. I'm not saying it's illegal. It's just, to me, certain things I don't approve of, even though you are being independent, you are making money. It's just not a job I approve of. Not illegal, just something I don't approve of, and due to my Christian values. Do I understand why you do it? Yes. Because your baby daddies don't pay child support. You got to do what you got to do. As long as it's legal. And it is. Nowadays. So anyhow, this has been kind of a ramble. But my point here was, if you're going to finish up a chapter or a novel, whatever, do a good closing. Not everybody's going to appreciate that. Not even when you ask, not even when you say you'll even go the extra mile and continue to help as long as needed. Not everybody's going to see that's your reason, because it's your integrity, because it's who you are, not because of any other reason. Because it's because you care, but you know that you're not because of any malice, that you just have to move on. I had prayed about moving on to this next chapter quite a lot. But I had enough confirmation and enough signs from the good Lord above. And the good Lord has to send me the kind of signs that are just right in my face, because he knows I'll just like walk on by the obvious sometimes. But he gave me quite the obvious sign a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, dude, you don't have to tell me again, Lord. I'm listening. So you just do. You need to stand in the Lord's will. If you're not doing something that is what God had planned for you to do to begin with, you may be doing something else. You may be very good at what that something else is, but it's not fulfilling you, because it's not what he made you to do. And if you're not doing what God made you to do, there's always going to be obstacles. There's always going to be unrest, or you're not going to be at peace, I guess is the word. So work hard, work ethically, give it all you got. But if you do not have a peace about it, and if you know it's really not what God designed you for, then no salary, no money, no whatever, it's going to make a difference, because you're not in line with God's will. And God will take care of you. And some unbeliever may be watching this. One of those unbelievers may be one of my offspring. But until you are in line with God's will, you're doing what he wants you to do. Remember, all the birds flying around, all these bugs you hear buzzing out here, does he not take care of them? They always have food. Mosquitoes have food. They're trying to eat me. But I sprayed the off on them. But they're flying by. So, if he can provide for bugs and birds, why wouldn't he provide for you? Not that it means to lay down on your butt and wait for handouts. I'm not saying that. God forbid. He'll just lead you ways, paths, wherever you got to do and present opportunity. You just got to be awake enough to take it. Awake. The word is awake in the present tense. I cannot stress that enough with everything going on in the world. So, happy Monday. It's been almost 15 minutes of me rambling. And I'm sweating. I'm going to take a shower because it's dark and I have shades on, apparently. Not a good idea, because snakes are out here. Peace out, mustard seeders.